Hey everybody, and welcome back to Lindsay's Little Library. So, after the last few book hauls I've had, and if you've been subscribed to my channel for a while, you've noticed that they were quite large. I've decided I really need to figure out a way to reduce the amount of books that I buy. One of those things is kind of this video, is I'm thinking I need to utilize my library more. Maybe not to read the entire books, but to kind of do a try it before you buy it kind of thing. So I was at my library about a week or so ago, signing us all up for the summer reading program, when I looked at their new releases shelf, and normally I'll take a look and I'll be like, yeah, I really want to buy that, or I really want to buy that, or that book sounds so good, and I thought this might be a great opportunity to give those books a try before you buy, right? So I picked up 4 books that I've been interested in that I'm going to read kind of the chapter or 2 of each of them and kind of decide whether or not I'm going to buy it or I'm just going to send her back to the library. So I thought I would kind of bring you along with me, and you can share your thoughts as I go, and I'll let you know kind of which one I'm going to either pick up, maybe 1, maybe 2, maybe all of them, but at least gives me an opportunity to kind of try out the book before I actually commit to buying it. So we're going to see how it goes. So we picked up 4 books. The first one I grabbed was Uncommon Type, the short stories by Tom Hanks. I believe all of these short stories center around or have something to do with typewriters, is what I've heard. I haven't heard a whole lot more, but I've heard some good stuff about it, so I'm going to give that a whirl. The next one I picked up was actually a Book of the Month selection that I did not choose, but I've heard some really great things. It's called An American Marriage by Tayari Jones. I hope that's right. I believe this follows a couple who are newlyweds, and they are like the American dream. Like, they're perfect. They're perfect. He's a young business executive. She's an artist on the brink of an exciting career. They set into their routine life, and Roy is, so it's Celestial and Roy are the couple, and Roy's arrested and sentenced to 12 years in prison for a crime that she had no clue he committed. Right? Sounds really interesting, and I've heard great things about this, so that's my next one I'm going to try. The third one I picked up is The Map of Salt and Stars by Jennifer Zinab Jakara. Oh, I'm so not good at this, you guys. But that's the one. So this one centers around, it's like the Middle East. And it follows kind of 2 timelines. So there's one that is the tale of a 12th century girl who disguises herself as a boy in order to be an apprentice herself to a famous mapmaker, and follows her journey along with the journey of Noor, who loses her father to cancer. Her mother moves her and her sister from New York City back to Syria, and that's in 2011. So they kind of follow this same journey, just centuries apart, and you kind of follow it that way. So it sounded really good. I've heard really great things about that one. And the last one I picked up, it's a little different, I think, but I do enjoy this author. So it's Year One by Nora Roberts. So Nora Roberts is kind of my go-to author when I need something romancy. Now, I do definitely prefer her stories that come with a sort of like a mystery, or there's usually some sort of murder mystery or some sort of psychological thriller type aspect to it. There's some that I can think of. Angels Falls was a good one. What was the other one? Northern Lights, I think. Something like that. So those I do enjoy. So I'm interested to see how she does. And I believe this is has a fantasy element to it. It says, the sickness came on suddenly and spread quickly. The fear spread even faster. Within weeks, everything people counted on began to fail them. The electrical grid sputtered, law and government collapsed, and more than half of the world's population was decimated. So I thought I'd give that a try. When I was at BookCon last year, I heard really, really great things about this book. It seems a little different for her as an author. I believe it's the first in a series. We're gonna give it a whirl. So those are the 4 books I'm going to try before I buy. I think I'm gonna vlog kind of how it goes from here and let you know kind of my thoughts after I read each of them, and whether or not I'm gonna buy or send her back to the library. So yeah, we're gonna give it a whirl. Okay, so I've got myself a comfy place. My children are happy and quiet for now. So I'm gonna start with, or I started with Tom Hanks' Uncommon Type. I read the first part of kind of the first story, and it's a little weird. A little weird. Like, I really don't care, I guess. So, I don't know. Right now, not something I would buy. Maybe if I have time after reading the beginnings of the other ones, maybe I'll go back to a different short story and try that. Maybe it's just the first one I wasn't a fan of. But for right now, not gonna buy that one. Next, I'm gonna read the beginning of An American Marriage and let you know. Hey everybody, I am in my car. It's Monday morning. I read the first part of An American Marriage last night by T.R.E. Jones. And I'm not sure about this one either. So we follow the two main characters. Of course, I can never remember names. Why can't I remember characters' names? It's so bad. Celestial and Roy. I like them, but I don't like them. So, but first, I've only gotten Roy's point of view so far in this chapter, and honestly I didn't even finish the chapter. The first chapter was like 30 some pages, so I read until there was like a bit of a break, which is I think about 20 pages in. So I feel like I gave that a decent shot, but I'm not sure yet about this book, and so if I have time I might revisit it, finish off Roy's portion of it, and then read from Celestial's point of view. I might do that. I'm kind of like on the fence about that one, but it's definitely better than The Uncommon Type by Tom Hanks, the first one that I read, so that's helping out. I have 2 more books left. Hopefully today I can get at least one of them in and check in with you and let you know what I think on that. So far, so good. If I had to buy one right now, I would probably buy this one, but honestly, I'm not really loving either one of them enough to actually buy it, so I'm actually pretty happy that I'm doing this. So far it's saved me some money, which is kind of the goal. So yeah, alright, I'll check into you later. Okay, so I finally got to the Map of Salt and Stars by Jennifer Zanab Jakarta. This one. First of all, I love this cover. So it totally would have been a cover buy for me, but I didn't even finish the first chapter and I already want this book. So this follows 2 timelines. So we have, oh, the other bonus, guys, there's a map. I know, right? This follows like summer of 2011. Noor loses her father and they have to move back to Syria to be closer to her family. So it follows her traveling back home. Then we follow, in the 12th century, a girl named Raya. I'm gonna go with that. And she disguises herself as a boy in order to apprentice for a famous mapmaker, and you follow her journey. So I've already gotten a taste for both girls. Love both girls. They're both adventurous and super strong and not afraid to kind of push the status quo. And that's all I've really needed to know. I do not want to put this down. I am loving this book. If this was not due back to the library literally tomorrow, I would probably keep reading. But this for sure I'm going to pick up because it totally has me super excited. So the other 2 not so much. We have 1 more book left, the Nora Roberts book, Year 1. I almost bought it today, but I'm like, no, the whole purpose of this video is for me not to buy so many books. So I'm gonna read that one and go from there. So, see you in a little bit. Okay, so I finally finished the last book. This took me way longer than I thought it was going to. Wow. But anyways, I finished the first chapter of Year 1 by Nora Roberts. This is Chronicles of the One. It's book 1, so it's going to be a series. Wow. Absolutely am I buying this book. If I wasn't already late to having it back to the library, I'd probably keep it around and read it some more, but I'm pretty sure I'm a good like 3 or 4 days late already. But this is a dystopian book with some fantastical elements to it. So there's definitely some magic, a magic system going on. There's some evil involved. But you start right off when like world is normal, they have a New Year's Eve party, something happens, and then it's the beginning of the end, basically. So the first chapter follows a character that is not mentioned in the synopsis, which I found was very interesting. It's usually not the case. So nothing in here talks about who I learned about in the first chapter. So I'm curious in how that relates to who they mentioned in the synopsis. But the way the world comes to an end is basically a sickness comes and spreads really quickly. It's like the plague, basically. So we find out where it started, who started carrying it, and how it kind of got spread out from there was what was covered in the first chapter. There's some really good foreshadowing in that chapter. Really good. So it makes me want to keep going. I am a Nora Roberts fan. I do enjoy her more murder mystery type books. I haven't read her J.D. Robb books, which I should probably give a whirl. I know the Big Haired Bookworm, I know she loves her. Another friend of mine really loves the J.D. Robb ones, which I haven't tried, so I should try that one. But anyways, I'm definitely buying this book, and I am definitely buying The Map of Salt and Stars, for sure. When I first read the first book of this, or the first part of it, because it was pretty long, I wasn't sure. Like, I still wanted to know, but I haven't been able to get this out of my head since then. So I think that's a really good sign saying that I need to pick this book up as well. So out of the 4 books that I picked up, which was Tom Hanks' short stories, An American Marriage, right? You just watched it. And then these 2, I'm definitely going to be buying these 2. So far, this worked, because normally if I would have come across these 4 in a store or online, I would have bought all 4. So I'm actually saving myself from doing that by only buying these 2. So I'm going to keep my eyes open, see what kind of deals are out there, check out different websites and kind of watch for them. See how much they still bug me if I need to get them like immediately. I know that this one's on Book Outlet, but they want like, this is going to sound bad, but they want almost like $9 for it, which is a really, I feel a little high for Book Outlet, but it is somewhat of a new release. So we'll see what I do. But that's what I'm going to go with. I really liked this experience. I think I'm going to continue it the next time when I go take these back to the library and pay my fine. I think I'm going to take a look at what other, if there's 4 more books in their new release section that maybe catch my eye and give it a whirl. I think this is really going to work for me. It gives me a little try it before you buy it. So who can argue with that? So anyways, thanks for sticking with me. If you've read any of these books, the 2 that I'm taking back and maybe not buying, if you think I should keep going with them, let me know in the comments below. Or if you've read any of these or want to read either of these, again, comment below and we can chat about it and maybe do a buddy read. That would be super fun. So like and subscribe. Otherwise, I'll see you guys next time. Bye.